that a yes?
Yeah.
I'd ask our Director of Public Works, Kurt Niehaus, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the August 22nd, 2019 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and represent District 3, alongside Commissioner Bill Rippon, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
First item of business, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are 7 items on the consent agenda today.
I'll move for approval as presented.
Second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Under building maintenance, Cook, Flat, and Strobel Engineers, $24,725 is for design service for Deer Creek Trail Extension. Fantasy Falls and Water Garden, $16,845 is for the Ensley Garden Pond Repair Project. Under Green Space, Parks, and Asset Management, Parks, tailor-made totaling $25,570 is for poured in place surface at Ripley and McKinley Parks. As of August 21st, 2019, total vouchers $491,605.57. And I move that we approve the vouchers.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Rippon, and that was seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the correction orders by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of request to reject the single bid for the Bettis Family Sports Complex parking lot milling project and to rebid the project with slight changes to the bid specifications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby with Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. Before you is a request to reject one bid. We only received one bid, and it seemed a little higher than what we thought it should be. So we'd like to resubmit it, change the specs just slightly, and see if we have a little better luck with more competition in this fall. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
The bid specifications were minor changes, you
Just,
said, Randy?
we're going to just tweak it a little bit to just see, because we think that's why it was a little higher than what we thought, so.
Okay. Are there questions for Mr. Libby?
I'll move to reject and rebid.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Good
Commissioner.
luck. Next item, please.
Number 2, consider approval of request to award bid to Sunflower Paving, Inc. for concrete replacement at 10 identified parklands at a total cost not to exceed $431,596, with funding of $358,591 from the excess reserves and $73,005 Boswell Park from the capital maintenance 3R funding, and authorization and execution of contract C-299, 2019 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Lorette, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department. I'm here before you this morning to ask for your approval to accept this bid from Sunflower Paving. This is largely part of our excess reserve funding that we received a while back. I was here earlier this year and talked about where we were on that process. I thought maybe I'd give you just a quick update on excess reserve. When I was here in the spring, we'd spent about $60,000. which we were not real happy about. We're up now to about $200,000. The East Edge Road reclamation project is happening right now. That'll be another $400,000. We've got, what else do I got here? This concrete project, if this moves forward, that would be another $359,000. So, in the long story short, we are getting there. We have actually committed now all but $30,000 of that $3 million of excess reserve. Back to this particular item, we feel like these concrete bids or this concrete project is vital to getting us moving forward to completing a lot of these projects. I put together a brief PowerPoint to show you a little bit of what we're talking about. It seems like I've been up here a couple of times already showing you pictures of broken concrete, but I'm going to do it again today. So here's Boswell Park, for example. I will note that Boswell Park is separate from the 10 parks that we presented as part of the excess reserve. This is an addition to that, and Boswell Park will actually be paid out of our capital maintenance fund. So there's some sidewalks there that look pretty bad. Again, still at Boswell, I believe. Willow Park. Hughes Park, which I just showed you the other day. I also did do a little research, or actually the county councilor shared with me some information about the sidewalks and whose responsibility they are. And the sidewalks on our property are our responsibility. So that's the direction we're moving forward, is trying to get those replaced. Again, Hughes Park. And it's not all sidewalks. So you can see here at Betty Dunn Park, we've got our poured-in-place surfacing around the playground equipment. But as part of that process, we put this curbing around so that we can put the poured-in-place in. So that's just another example of concrete work. The Gage Park Fitness Trail, obviously completed. It's beautiful, but just another example of the things we're doing and why concrete's important. Chesney Park, so we were up here last week talking about signage. And you can clearly see here what Jeremy was talking about, where we put a concrete pad in underneath the sign. This serves two purposes. One, it's a sturdy way to install these. They're going to last a long time. We talked about at least 10 years. It also makes it easy for our staff and our contractors to mow around these areas. You don't have to get off the mower and weed eat. You can just mow right over this and move on. So a little more efficient. More sign. This is a great picture, I think, when you're talking concrete. You've got the concrete at the base of the sign. You've got a sidewalk. You've got basketball courts. So these are all in great condition, but just wanted to give you sort of the flavor of why we're up here and why we're talking about concrete. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions, Commissioner Rippon, Commissioner Cook? No, go right ahead.
I move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. And these are regular maintenance items that
Absolutely.
we have to do.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Tim, and I appreciate the presentation. It was well done. Next item, please.
Number 3, consider request for permission to issue a request for quotation for design build services for a pickleball facility at Family Park.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowell, Shawnee County Councilor. No, I'm not Tim Laurent. I asked him if I could come up here before he gets started on his part of the discussion on this item to give a little bit of context to what this item is and discuss the legal procedures for moving forward. Because we're discussing whether to use design build, the board this morning needs to make a decision as to whether that's the most important or most appropriate construction delivery system for this project. So what's a construction delivery system? There's 3 basic types, and the traditional type you'll see through our public works projects, where we design the project and architects and engineers get together, they design the project, and then they send it out to contractors and say, please give us a bid for what it's going to cost to build this street, this bridge, that type of item. On the other extreme is construction manager at risk, and we have used construction manager at risk. We're using it right now on the event center project. We did that because we're going to continuously operate that facility. So you use that when you have a highly complex project involved where there requires a lot of coordination between the contractor and the owner, like the Expo Center, okay? The third method, which we're going to discuss this morning, is design build. And we've used design build, for example, on the election office. When we acquired that building, we used design build as a method on that. And that's where you have that typically follows a situation where you have a budget in mind for what you're going to spend, and you have a concept in mind for what you want, and you decide what you're going to do is you're going to hire the contractor, and the contractor is going to hire the architects and engineers and give you a design, a final design for your project, and that fits within the budget you've indicated, and then you decide what to move forward with on that. So it's just an alternative delivery method. Now, under state law, if we're going to use either design build or construction manager at risk, then there's a specified process for how we proceed with that. This morning, we can discuss whether to use design build over the traditional method. And if you decide to do that, then you'll authorize county staff to publish a notice in the official county newspaper that we intend to use design build on this project. That'll be published for at least 15 days, and then we'll come back and we'll have a public hearing on whether to move forward and issue an RFQ, a request for qualifications, on this project. So what we would be doing is determining as a county who the most qualified contractor would be for delivering the project that we're seeking. So that's kind of an overview of what we're discussing this morning, the three alternatives, and what we need to do this morning. I'll be happy to answer any questions from that.
So the RFQ would be appropriate for this project?
Yes, it's appropriate for this type of project,
Okay.
yes.
And it sounds to me like it would be more transparent and open in that we would have notices published in the newspaper of record. We would have a public hearing to get information, and then we would actually move forward or not move forward.
Correct. Because this is an alternative to
Right.
the traditional method, the state has indicated that you have to go through these specific steps, which include more public notice
Okay. Very
and a
good.
discussion of the merits of using it on a particular project.
Okay. Very good. Questions? Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Jim, did the Parks and Rec office go through your department or through legal before they put this on the agenda? Have you had any input into this?
We haven't had any discussion specifically about this process yet. That's why I wanted to get up this morning and just make it clear to everyone, public, staff, commissioners, this is, if we choose to move forward, then this is the direction that we go.
Okay. And I guess maybe just a question for Tim as to whether or not this item has even had an opportunity to pass through the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. I understand that they meet on Tuesday, the 27th.
Yes, Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. We have not brought this to the advisory board as a formal agenda item. There have been a lot of discussion with advisory board members. In my mind, because I know where you're going with this, and I think you're making a good point. I think that part of this, in my mind, part of this project would allow significant input from our advisory board, also from the pickleball community, as we move forward with this process. But regardless of how we choose to do this, I think those two things need and will happen.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I just really have concerns with us moving forward with this at all this morning. I think that this appears to be maybe just a little bit premature. It may not be inappropriate to go through a request for qualifications, but it does seem premature in that it has not gone through the counselor's office. It has not gone through the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. I would ask this be deferred for 30 days, allow it to go through the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, have public input. We want transparency in government. Allow the counselor's office to take those input from the advisory board and then to bring this back to us as to what the most appropriate format is.
Well, my view is we don't delay. that this process, if we approve today, will give the public plenty of opportunity to comment. The advisory board can give input as they require, and then we move on. I think delaying is not a smart thing to do, because I want this to be available in spring of next year for people to enjoy.
But-
So that's my
So
Commissioner
there's a
Rippon?
motion to defer.
Question. So what we're doing here today, we're just approving not to post this project?
If you approve this item, you're directing county staff to cause a notice to be published in the official county newspaper and to set a public hearing on this matter at least 15 days past the notice to discuss, to have a public hearing as to whether to issue the RFQ.
Okay.
So the process of issuing the RFQ will not happen today. What will happen if there is a positive vote on the request today will be direction to staff to post that item and to set the public hearing. And then at that public hearing would be whether, will be when the board will determine whether to move forward with the RFQ for design build.
Do we have a certain time limit when we have to do that, when we have to approve it?
You have to wait at least 15 days after it's been noticed in the official county newspaper, but there's no outside time limit to that.
But, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Commissioner Cook.
I guess there are multiple delivery methods besides the request for qualifications.
Correct.
And so I guess that's really my point to the advisory board is we're already engaging in a request for qualifications without allowing the input for thought. Is this really even the best methodology? And again, the counselor's office hasn't even weighed in with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board or the Parks and Rec Department as to whether or not request for qualifications. And it just seems premature. And I think that we need to think this through before we just hastily engage into this process.
And I appreciate that. I don't think it's hasty at all. If nothing's going to happen for at least a month, we're going to have notice in the county newspaper of record. We're going to have public hearings. We're going to discuss this issue with the advisory group. I don't see any reason to delay. So there's a motion to delay for 30 days. Do I hear a second? I don't. So I'll move to approve the RFQ process to begin things. And as I say, hopefully by next April or May, we'll have pickleball courts to be enjoyed by the community. That's a motion.
I will second, because I think we'll have time to get our public input in there, and it will move the project along, so I'll second that.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
No.
Motion carries 2-1. Commissioner Cook dissents. Next item, please.
Item C, Human Resources. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill a Human Resources Specialist 1 position at a salary including benefits of $45,740.52, and to fill any position that becomes vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. We are asking to post and fill our Human Resources Specialist 1. We have Stephanie Burrow, who's been with us a short time, but she's going back to the insurance industry, and we'd like to get this position filled as soon as possible.
Very good. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Angela. Next item, please.
Item D, Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to issue a request for quotations for solid waste industrial containers at an estimated cost of $25,000 with funding from the department's operational budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Solid Waste Department. We're looking to purchase 5 industrial containers, 30-yard size, approximate price about $44,000 a piece. This funding will come from our operational fund, which is 100% user fee funded and not taxpayer supported. Be available for questions.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Where will these be stationed?
These containers will be switched out with the current containers that are in inventory, and then those will be refurbished if possible or disposed of as required.
Okay. But you don't have specific locations in
No,
mind
sir.
at this point? Okay. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Bill. Next item, please.
Item E, Public Works. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of the following contracts with Finney and Turnip Seed Transportation and Civil Engineering LLC for design and construction engineering services for the following projects. A, Contract C300, 2019, Northwest Green Hills Road over tributary to Half Day Creek Project at a cost of $44,100 with funding from the Special Bridge Fund. And B, Contract C301, 2019, Northwest 39th Street over tributary to Half Day Creek Project at a cost of $44,100 with funding from the Special Bridge Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Back in April 11th to be exact, the Commission approved our request to issue RFQs for the replacement of 2 structures. They're reasonably close together. And after considering all the proposals, the selection committee unanimously selected Finney and Turnip Seed to do that work. The contract amounts for each bridge is $44,100. That covers both design work and construction engineering. Now, you've seen this picture before. This is just an example of the type of structure that you're replacing. This one here is a stone arch bridge that was widened with a metal culvert at some point in the past. I won't show you any more pictures of the structures, but I want to show you how close together they are. If I can get on target here. Okay, in this picture, up is to the north, and let's see if I can get this to work. 39th Street, Northwest 39th is right here. Green Hills Road is right here. One of the structures is right here. One of the structures is right here. The flow is to the southwest towards Soldier Creek. As you can see, they're very close together. It makes sense to let these projects at the same time. And I think that's one reason why our prices from Finney and Turnip Seed were so favorable. They understood that probably from a design standpoint, the 2 structures would be very similar. They would probably be the same size. The only difference would be the wing wall configuration. And from a construction engineering standpoint, we're probably not going to let both roads be closed at the same time. That wouldn't be favorable from a detour standpoint. So one person could probably inspect both structures, and I think that gives you an idea of what we've got planned ahead. Any questions?
Questions for Kurt?
I move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you for the demonstration, too.
You
Kurt.
bet. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next item, please.
Item F, Facilities Maintenance. Number 1, consider approval of request to award bid to Shirley Construction, Inc. for installation of 21 automatic fire door closures and 5 magnetic door holdbacks on the meeting and ballroom doors at the Maynard Conference Center, 1720 Southwest Western, at a cost of $36,492 with funding from the Maynard Maintenance Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. This particular, excuse me, this particular quote from Shirley Construction was one of 4 quotes we received. It was the lowest. The difference in the closures, the automatic fire door closures, need to be put on doors that have no back wall to put a magnetic holdback, which are much cheaper to put on. But at like the Sunflower Ballroom, the doors open just out into the hallway, and you have to have something to hold those open, which is built within the door closure as a magnet. So they're a little more expensive, and there's 21 of those at Maynard and 5 that we can actually do the less expensive magnetic holdback that will release when the fire alarms are triggered. The city fire marshal, when he inspected Maynard this spring, cited these 26 doors that we needed to get something done for them, mainly because Maynard is grandfathered in on a lot of things, but there's not a sprinkler system and other fire protection systems, so these door closures become quite important. The funding, we have enough funding in the maintenance fund to handle it, and I'll answer any questions you might have.
Questions for Bill?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Bill. Next item, please.
Item G, Commission, number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2019-60, establishing the 2020 holidays.
Questions or comments? I'll move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Administrative communications.
Yes, this is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission. Craig Barn, I think you're up. Okay, I'm sorry. Linda.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. Been a big week for the Health Department. First, I want to share that Governor Laura Kelly, we had the privilege of hosting her for a visit on Tuesday. She came to learn more about the Nurse Family Partnership Program. She's very interested in early childhood education, early childhood intervention, and so this is, of course, our evidence-based program, one of 2 programs in the state under Nurse Family Partnership, but it's quite a large program around the country, so she's become interested in that, so we talked to her about that. We actually had a mom and a 2-year-old there who was quite entertaining, and so it was a great visit, and Commissioner Cook joined us for that day, so thank you. The other announcement I will have Craig come up now. I am very proud to announce that Craig Barnes was selected for the Topeka's Top 20 Under 40 this year, and that award honors members of the community for their commitment and contributions both professionally and personally. Craig is quite busy in the community. He is the chair for the Heartland Healthy Neighborhoods group. He is on the Northeast Kansas Regional Board representative for Tobacco-Free Kansas and a member of the Topeka Optimist Club, along with all the other things he does for the county and the health department. And I think one of the things I really liked in his nomination, as zip code is more relevant to health than genetic code, Craig is inspired by his work to make Topeka Shawnee County a healthier, more vibrant, and more desirable place to live, work, and play, while ensuring future generations of Topekans have the best opportunity to have a high quality of life. So we're very proud of Craig, and I just wanted to announce that today for him. You want to say anything about it?
Your face is kind of red.
Well, it's not often that I'm left speechless, so as you probably well know. But this is it's just a great honor. I appreciate it very much. I think it just lays credit to what we're doing here at the county to really improve the quality of life and quality of place of our residents here in Shawnee County. And I just really hope to hold up to the previous 3 Shawnee County employees that have been awarded this honor in the past, and hope to just really continue the work moving forward. Just really excited, and I just thank you for, you really, as the commission, has really been a public health champions over the years, and it's been a pleasure to kind of take the visions that we've all created together and put those into place, and so just humbled by this, and so thank you.
Well, it's an honor to have you as an employee of Shawnee County. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Craig.
Appreciate it.
Any other?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. I just love embarrassing employees. That's just great. Anyone else to address the commission this morning? Commissioner Cook?
Follow up on what Linda was saying, I do have for you as the commissioners.
Thank you.
This is the presentation that was handed out. On top, you'll see the memo to Governor Kelly talking about the Nurse Family Partnership and the benefits that we've seen in Shawnee County and how these could be expanded across the state. So that's
Very
all I've
good.
got.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Commissioner Rippon, where have you been this week?
Hardly anyway. Now, I have nothing to report this week.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't either, and that's refreshing. So, next item, please.
Executive sessions.
There's not a need for an executive session, so we're officially adjourned. Thank you for attending this morning. Weekend plans?
My mom is coming up from western Kansas. My